Hi everyone and welcome to the Batcave. We are here to talk all things Batman for the week, whether it be collectibles, TVs, movies, comics, any Batman news that showed up this week, we're going to try and cover it right here today. I am Daniel Pickett of Action Figure Insider, and I am joined with my lovely co-host Tatiana Hollander from the Marvel Report.
I told him to talk like Batman.
We're all going to talk like Batman tonight.
But he wouldn't do it.
I can talk like Adam West. Is that okay?
Yes, talk like Adam West.
But we're here on theStreamtv for Welcome to the Batcave. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching us, or if you're joining us when it's already aired, thank you again for taking some time out of your week.
Thanks for clicking the link, no matter what.
Exactly. So we are going to start off talking a little bit about the comic world, which I think you know a little something about the newest issue that has been released of All-Star Batman.
Yes, All-Star Batman. We just added a new backstory, if you will, to Bruce and Harvey's childhood. So now they were in a home together, you know, after the summer that Bruce's parents died. He was going through a lot. So Alfred sent him away to get better, and that's where he met Harvey. And he said that meeting Harvey there and their friendship is what helped him get out of his dark place and help him sort of find the light in his life. So now that Harvey's Two-Face and Bruce is trying to cure Harvey, right? He's trying to remind him of that and be that light for Harvey, which is, you know, very sweet, but perhaps is not going to work because we can't cure Two-Face, I don't think. But yeah, Scott Snyder said that Two-Face is celebrating that we're all monstrous, but Bruce is trying to prove the point that as children, they believed in each other and that Harvey kept him from becoming something and falling into something monstrous. So that's why he's trying to give it back to him, which is very nice.
Did you ever read the old Grant Morrison graphic novel of Arkham Asylum?
No, I didn't.
He did a thing where he...
How old was it? Was I born then?
You would have been born.
Okay.
Yes, it wasn't that long ago. There was actually a story arc in there about trying to heal Harvey Dent of his two faces, of his two personalities. And so they started by taking away his coin and giving him a six-sided die. And then
that sounds like a kind of good psychology trick, right?
And then,
it's not just black and white, Harvey.
Right. It was a story about like giving him more choices. And eventually they gave him like a deck of 52 cards, showing him that there are multiple possibilities and not just the coin flip black and white.
Cool.
It was an interesting story from old Grant Morrison.
So it was called Arkham Asylum?
Arkham Asylum,
yes.
All
right, I'll have to check that out.
Yes.
Grant Morrison, thanks.
Nice little painted, you know, I think it's in a soft cover now. At the time it was a hardback graphic novel. So, but yeah, interesting story. The other news this week that came out that's kind of interesting is that they have announced a Justice League Power Rangers crossover.
Yes.
Which is kind of interesting, you know?
Yeah, Boom Studios is going to be handling that. And they've done some really great crossovers. And I think they recently did one with their series called Lumberjanes and Gotham Academy. So yeah, they've got a good history of taking DC properties and just, you know, making them a little softer on the edges, maybe. I don't know.
It's been interesting just to see DC allow more of that sort of thing lately. You know, we had the Batman Ninja Turtles crossover. Yes,
exactly. Which I think I heard a rumor that they might be trying to make that into a movie or some kind of animated series or something. I don't know. It was literally just like a rumor in passing. Some random person on the street said that.
I'd be on board with that.
If it happens.
And then they also just recently have done a Green Lantern Star Trek crossover.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
So to see them do this, to take these very different universes and click them together, it's very interesting to see. You know, Power Rangers is hot right now. We just saw a new trailer for a feature film that is coming. So
so you may as well.
Yeah.
And it's also, you know, obviously Justice League itself is coming. So
that is
I think this is starting in January.
January, that's right.
In, I think sort of like in time to show off both of those properties.
Absolutely.
It's going to be written by Tom Taylor with art by Stephen Byrne. And it'll be 11 issues in total.
That's good. So, that's a whole lot of crossing over between both Batman and the Power Rangers. And in very timely news, today was the day that the new DC solicitations came out. For these are titles that will be shipping in November, right?
I think this is actually the January solicitations.
This is the January
solicitations.
Yeah. For that, And who did you finally get to see?
in.
You talked
Oh my
about it
God.
last week.
Yeah, last week I heard that rumor, just one single tweet, and no one said anything else. I was so scared it wasn't real, but it's real. Catwoman's coming back.
We got a cover. They showed a cover and everything.
Totally macking on Bruce. It's gonna be great. She's part of the I Am Suicide arc, and I think the solicitation, the description of the issue, said that Bruce and Selina have to sort of like face their past and decide their future, which could change Gotham's fate. So like that sounds like super serious. But yeah, she's also gonna be, I think she's gonna stay in the comic outside of that arc. She's gonna be like the second lead after that, hopefully. Okay. Fingers crossed. So.
Nice.
So yeah. So you guys can tell us what you think Selina should be doing.
And be very easy to tell us what you think by using the hashtag welcome to the Batcave. That way we can check on what you're saying, what you're asking, what Batman things you read or encountered this week. We want to know. We would love to know. So use that hashtag.
At all hours of the day.
That's
just
right.
All the time. Tell me everything Batman.
Hashtag welcome to the Batcave, and we'll get back to you, and we'll cuss and discuss all things that are Batman.
You say cuss?
I'll go.
I thought, all right, I'm going to look forward to your cussing in the future.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll at least discuss it, if nothing else. Then we had some more fun news, still kind of in the 66 Batman universe. It was Burt Ward told comicbooks.com, Good Night Gotham, that he and Adam West have been pitching, what do they call it? Like the old...
Yeah, like basically like old men in tights, kind of like throwback Batman and Robin series. That they want to do it like them, literally, as like, you know, retired Batman, kind of, I guess sort of like a Batman Beyond kind of situation, right? Like old.
So they're both old.
Yeah, they're both old.
Would they have a young guy too?
I don't know.
Or is it just going to be like...
I think they might have to, but
like soaking his teeth in bourbon at the end of the night?
I think Burt Ward literally said that like it would just be like fun to like watch them trying to get their costumes on and get ready to go fight.
That's just a whole episode.
Exactly.
Just they
That
finally get like
itself.
the belt clipped and stuff.
That would
and
at least make a great
they
pilot. You know, after that, they'd have to shoot some fight scenes, but like for like the first episode, just seeing them fail at doing everything vigilante would be amazing.
But then they'd swing and it'd be like crack on their hip. You know, it's all this geriatric humor.
He says at least Burt Ward said like he guarantees that there would be a turnout. You know, and I think that's true. Like I think we'd all go watch that, no matter how it ended up being.
That's true. But he also mentioned that he would love to find a character he could appear on Gotham, which would be interesting.
Yes. And is there any character that you think that he should be?
I mean, he would have been great, like as you know, Cobblepot's father, as Penguin's father.
That would have
We've
been
already seen that.
Or if he'd been part of like the Flying Graysons like circus,
Oh,
like just like a retired
like
member of
maybe
the
a
circus.
the ringmaster or something.
That would have been awesome.
That would be interesting.
But those days are gone. We must look to the future.
That's right.
So, maybe he'll be the next, I don't know, maybe like a commissioner or something, like once Barnes goes crazy.
It could be. Absolutely could be. Be interesting to see. In movie news that we know we're getting,
actual movies that are
actual
happening.
movie news, we got a little tease, a little sneak peek still of Justice League, where we got to see Amber Heard in her Mera outfit, standing on the shore in typical Zack Snyder form. It's very dark and washed out.
Like
we don't get to see the bright green costume, but it was just nice to see.
I love that her hair is red, so people can stop. You know, people are constantly complaining about like the death of redheads in comic book movies or something. But there you go, you got Mera.
So nice to see that she'll be appearing and make.
So you said that the costume was muted, but I liked the costume a lot when I first saw it, and then like several people told me that she looked like a character from Power Rangers, and I don't know what character that is.
Well, this costume does have a bit pointier shoulders, sort of like the Rita Repulsa, you might say.
Oh, is that okay? Is that?
Right. Yeah, I think that's kind of what they're going for. Yeah.
But I still think that Amber Heard's gonna kick ass. So I'm ready.
Indeed.
I'm ready to see her with Jason Momoa.
Yes, Under the Sea. But they wrapped. The Justice League movie apparently is done now, at least in its initial filming. There might be some more pickups and reshoots later, and there's going to be a ton of effects work still to do. But they tweeted out some pictures of them celebrating the end of the shoot. So nice to hear that, we'll have to see how the tone ended up, because we know they sort of started shooting one movie and
it might become
some changes were made, and now we'll see what movie ends up being in the theater. And then it will be interesting to see if it follows in the same pattern that we've sort of been getting of there's a theatrical release and then a more sort of deluxe,
The extended edition.
version.
Yeah. I think they should
on
just
DVD.
release the extended version in the theater. I think people will still go see it, and then I think they'll get their money's worth if they watch that version.
But it's not always if people will see it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's more the theater owners want the movies to be shorter so
Oh,
that
okay.
they can cycle more people through in
I
the
see.
day. So they don't like those giant epics all the time. They want it to
I
be
think
sort
they'll
of a...
make an exception for Justice League.
Look, I'm on board.
I think.
I'll watch. Just, put it in there. I just
Yeah.
know that in the past we've gotten a bit of grousing from theater owners wanting to be a tight ship. So we'll see.
But speaking of movies wrapping or not, our Deathstroke, Joe Manganiello, whose name I'm sorry if you're watching, I don't know how to say your last name. But he said that the Batman solo movie might be starting filming in spring 2017. So.
Yeah, I think we can start calling it Batman, Who's Got the Batman? Because there's different information coming from multiple sources. The movie's coming, it's not, it's shooting, it's not, this is the name, no, it's not.
Right.
It's
And-
like every single week we come to you and go, oh, here's some news. And
Just
the next
kidding,
week we go,
it's not happening.
it turns out a different guy said
Yeah.
something else.
Speaking of things that are most likely not happening, Joe and Anna Kendrick also seem to have started like a sort of joke that Anna Kendrick might be playing one of the Robin in the Batman movie. But of course, like 100 news outlets pick this up like it's a real possibility. But I'm gonna guess that it's not. I don't think she's playing. I think it's as likely as her playing Squirrel Girl, which is not likely. So.
Yeah, I don't think that's true either, but there's many sites that want to
I want you to
rush
believe
to
it.
the headline and
Yeah.
we'll just pick that up and run with it. So it was just a joke from the set of
The Accountant.
and doing the press junket and things. So
Yes.
no, everybody calm down. It doesn't mean we're getting
Not getting Stephanie Brown or Carrie Kelly, most likely.
yeah. So, moving on into the collectibles world. there's-
Daniel's world.
Yes, that's more my area of expertise. A couple of new things. One that's going to hit comic shops this week from the folks at Yamato USA. They have got a Batgirl statue. Very Japanese influence into the design. There are two different versions. There's sort of a black and white version as well as a version that's more sort of the Burnside Batgirl coloring for it. It's hitting stores. It's a little pricey. It's a
How pricey?
It's a limited edition. Oh, 250 bones.
What? So you're
You
gonna
know?
you're gonna get it for
Oh,
me, right?
I'm gonna get both of them. Yeah. So yeah, bookends. You can put all your graphic novels between them. I'm just gonna drop-
I love the more Burnside-y one. I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, it's a very great stylized
If someone wants
Batgirl.
to gift it to me, I'll definitely use it as my bookend.
Oh, we can go drive and get one. Those guys are in Torrance, like their U.S. office. So this is, I think, about the third statue in their line. They've done a Harley, they've done a Poison Ivy, they've announced a Joker.
Oh.
Yes, and
nice.
now we are getting this one. So that's a nice little thing that'll set you back a little bit if you're interested, but a very cool,
Just
pretty piece.
just like a month of lunch money. It's fine.
That's right,
Don't eat
yes.
for a month.
Then something that was teased, it hasn't been released quite yet. Stern, the pinball makers, are making a 66 Batman pinball machine, and they've got a couple of different versions that they've shown. There are a couple of different cases that they've shown. They have been very clear that these are prototypes that they're
Right.
showing. But they've got some very cool features in there. There's a little 66 Batmobile, a Batcopter, a little bat signal, several like old TVs, lots of great graphics. The top of it, on top of the score display, looks like the windshield of the Batmobile with with Batman and Robin in it, with the little red light in between, and there's actually a bat signal that comes up out of the top of it that will
Is
reflect
this just
on the
like
ceiling.
home use, or do arcades actually like?
There are still
Motor
some
arcades?
arcades, yeah. I mean, it's home use if you are willing to spend between $6,000 and $10,000 on the regular or exclusive edition.
Just gotta hope that
but,
the one arcade in your town wants to
yeah.
hit them up for that.
But pinball machines are still, these days are very few and far between.
Right.
So it's always neat to see a new one and, this great Batman theme. Finally, 66 Batman kind of getting its due.
Yeah, it's like glory days for them right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like peak Batman 66.
Yeah, so there was kind of a pinball expo this week, so they were trotting that out and kind of
Oh, that's so
releasing
cool.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Pinball Expo.
Yeah, totally. I'd go to a pinball
Right?
expo. I'd love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the fun little news from the Stern people that came out this week. So start saving your pennies and searching the sofa for loose change.
That's your dinner money.
If you would like to have one of those in your home. And then for show and tell, I brought some goodies today.
Oh my goodness.
These are some of the new metals die-cast line from Jada
Dang.
Toys. Jada is a company that was always kind of known for die-cast cars initially. They have like the Fast and the Furious license, not so much known for figures and collectibles. And so they sort of snuck into this by making some of these die-cast figures. They're very stylized, they're heavy. They started with Batman versus Superman.
Oh.
They released them in stores, and people were like, well, what are these? And they did them in a variety of scales. And then they did some for Ghostbusters, like classic
wow.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
They did Suicide Squad. And then they've just sort of gone gangbusters now. They've got a ton
Right.
of licenses. They've got Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Halo, and these are their Women of the DC Universe line. They are a couple of different scales. You can see, here's Batgirl. You've got Batgirl, Harley, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman here in the larger scale. I'm going to open one of these guys up so you can feel that they're die-cast and they're heavy.
All right, okay, I'm going to feel this.
Slide one out.
This is like the next Pop Funko, but like, Die Hard.
Oh, you're right. It's
like
that sort of,
hardcore.
yeah. There's room on the shelf for all of them. So she's got sort of one point of articulation. That's the waist there. She's got a little bit of extra, rubber pieces like so you don't hurt
Yeah.
yourself on that, and her little pouches and stuff. But feel how
Alright,
heavy
I'm
that is
feeling-
actually.
Oh my God, wow. She is much heavier than she looks. I definitely, gosh. It's all muscle though, it's all muscle.
So they've got some regular editions. They've got some repaints as well, some other versions. You can see there's the smaller scale too that are closer to, sort of 2 inches, 2.5 inches there. Like here's Poison Ivy more in her new
Aesthetic.
52. Here's more sort of a classic
She's still,
Ivy right here. But yeah, and then they've got, like here's a black and white Harley Quinn.
there's always like the most Harleys.
Right.
Harley's got everything of everything.
So they got some chases. There's like just an all pewter version in a couple of the different scales. Here's the pewter Harley, and it does say Chase on it. So if you find one of those in the store, that's going to be harder to find. So these are from Jada Toys, and they are out now. I've actually seen the Harley Quinn at Target. Target's starting to have like sort of a collector end cap where they have some of this stuff. So these are great, and as I said, heavy. Don't chuck them at your friends or neighbors. 'Cause
They will hurt.
They will hurt. They're heavier than you think they're going to be because they are, in fact, metal. So
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
it says it right there on the box.
it
It's
does.
not lying to you.
Yes, it says heavy die-cast metal, not just the regular
Not just the light
kind,
metal, yeah.
the heavy kind. So be careful for that. So yeah, then in more fan news, I think you
Yes.
dug up a couple of cool
I
little.
did. I saw a story from a few weeks ago. A black cosplayer named Charles Conley went to a con recently dressed as Batman, and he said that like a lot of times he doesn't like to do that because people will like say like, oh well, you should play like a black character instead, which seems ludicrous. But at this con, he met a young little boy who told him that when he saw him, he said like, oh, I'm so excited like that I can be, like I didn't know that I could be a hero too, like I can be Batman too. I thought that was like a really sweet story, and it just shows you how important representation is. Like you want to be able to see yourself, and even sometimes as established characters that you don't know, like that you didn't know that they could be related to you. So
All conventions should be a free space to just let your freak flag fly however you'd like.
Yes.
I mean, there should be no judgment of those sort of things. That should be a safe place, no matter what you're cosplaying
Right.
as or collecting or whatever.
I mean,
So-
fandom spaces in general were invented sort of as like a free place to be yourself and to share that with other people.
Yes.
So I think it's great when we get positive experiences out of that
Absolutely.
and build like new relationships and understanding instead of like bringing up walls and barriers.
Yeah, so if you want to do like gender bent cosplay
Yes.
where you're flipping the genders of something or, changing races. It just doesn't matter. Just go and have fun.
That's as long as you're not hurting anyone, right?
Exactly. Be with people of a like mind and just have fun. That's what I say.
And you say things so well, Daniel.
I
Thank
don't.
you.
That's true.
In other news, I watched a fan trailer this weekend by Strider HD, and you can find them. That's their YouTube page, Strider HD. It was another Batman versus Superman fan-made trailer, but this time it was Brandon Routh's Superman versus Christian Bale's Batman, and it was actually awesome. Like, obviously, the quality, you know, like the effects were of the Christian Bale Batman movies and of Superman Returns. But like they put them together so well, like, and they managed to use dialogue from those movies that still felt like they were the themes of Batman versus Superman. Like, you have to watch it. It was crazy.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. The only thing is that you can't really show their fight because you don't have them fighting each other.
Right.
But just it even made me like appreciate Kate Bosworth's Lois again. Like, and that was, you know, my least favorite Lois. Sorry, but I was like, oh, hey, I believe what I'm seeing.
Nice.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
it was awesome. It was awesome. So, my favorite person, my revelation, is chilling in the chat, and they just said that the Wonder Woman tone for the new movie looks perfect. And I wanted to just agree with you that I think from the trailers that we've seen so far, it seems like they've really like hit a stride with it. Like, they know where they're going, and Diana is still recognizable from Batman vs Superman, but like seeing her sort of like as a fish out of water, I think is going to be a little bit more fun, like a little more lighthearted, and she's gonna.
I'm very glad they did go with the period piece for it. I feel like that is really essential in sort of setting that up for her, and you know, because again, this is her 75th anniversary.
Yes, you want to be
special. And we're just now getting our first Wonder Woman movie. So,
it was definitely about time.
I know we're all done. We don't need another like Batman origin in a film.
Right.
We've seen it multiple times. Everyone's got that. But Wonder Woman, it's their first time around. We need some of that. So I'm glad they're.
I'm so glad they're doing an origin. Like, because even though like comic book fans may know her origin and may have read it like 300 times, but casual fans who don't read the comics don't know where she comes from. Like, like I feel like some people might even think she's like from Krypton, like Superman too. You know, like some people are just like, meh.
And she's one of the ones whose origin has changed a little bit. Like Bruce, you know, it's every single time it's broken necklaces and guns and crying in the alley with your flowers and you know, I think the only thing that changes is what movie he goes to see. Sometimes it's Zorro's, you know. So, but you know, hers has changed a little bit over time. They've solidified it more now, but you know, I still think it's important for.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see like a more definitive take on it, and I assume they're going to go with. I'm not exactly sure, but I feel like they're going to go with the most like recent / that's now sort of like the solidified version, basically.
Right. Yeah.
I guess. We actually have a Twitter question.
Oh, a Twitter question.
Brad Groff, so thank you, Brad. And they want to know if Bruce and Selina should get romantic ASAP in the new Batman story, or if they should wait.
Are we talking about in the comics?
Yeah, in the comics.
Well, I think. What's your vote? You're the one that's been waiting for her to reappear.
I want them to wait because I want them to establish her as her own character. You know, that she can live separate from Bruce. And of course, she had her 52 title, but like I think in the first issue, like they showed Bruce showed up and Batman showed up, right? And they like boned like immediately. So like I don't need that in my life. I think that I want to wait and like stretch out the tension a little bit, just because.
Yeah, and just with the rebirth universe that they're setting up right now, he actually has other people in his life right now that are close to him, which I think you know, that's an interesting new take that we haven't seen a lot of late. So I don't think he has to rush into that sort of relationship because he is. He is kind of the father figure in it. So does he need the mother figure too with all his Bat family?
I think that'll be cool. It'll be cool to induct her into the family eventually. Yeah, I would like to see her as part of that family in a way. You know, even if she's a little bit standoffish like she always is. That's fine.
All right. But good question.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. But I think that is the time we've got now for all the latest and greatest of the Bat news. So in the meantime, while you're waiting for Wednesday comics to come out or a new DVD to be released, you can subscribe to theStream.tv, where you can get a host of awesome entertainment of after shows and discussions and breaking news. They've got it all on theStream.tv. And of course, keep checking back with us here at Welcome to the Batcave and using that hashtag, Welcome to the Batcave, to keep the conversation going with all things Batman. So thank you so much for being with us tonight and watching us all week. And we'll be back next week with lots more batty goodness here on Welcome to the Batcave.
Bye.